first NTTP1 award since Mid-Ohio in 2022, 6th career pole, also the first McLaren pole since Felix Rosenquist did that in 2023 at Laguna Seca. Congratulations. Big step towards what could be a very big weekend for you, huh?
Yeah, glad to be back here. Glad to be back here in towards the front of the field. Great job by the guys and gals in our McLaren Team Chevy. Team Chevy lockout along with our McLaren lockout. So super pumped. Really happy with how we turned things around. I would say we didn't start the day amazing. Q1 was kind of getting there. We just made a bit of an adjustment, and then it just brought the car alive. And in Q2, it felt good. And yeah.
How on edge are these cars on this track?
Not a lot. You used to have them a lot on the edge without this hybrid, but with all this weight in the rear, they just plow like pigs, really. So, it's
technical term.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame because they feel like they can go a lot faster, but we can't really get them there into that edge where maybe I have put it in the past. Yeah.
What's up? What's up?
But yeah, happy with today.
Yeah, congratulations, and obviously Christian Lundgaard will complete the front row in tomorrow's race. Drive the number 7 Arrow McLaren Chevrolet, his first front row start since the Indy GP last year at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. Your thoughts on all McLaren front row for tomorrow, Christian?
Well, we're just trying to copy what they do in Formula One. But no, I think it's great. I think we had the pace all weekend, and we didn't quite get to show it in practice 1. But I certainly think we showed it earlier today, and it's just important to be there when it counts. And we were today, so let's keep that momentum going forward.
All right, congratulations. We got roving microphones. Raise your hand. We'll start here with Steve Whittick. Go ahead, Steve.
Pato and Christian, but you guys were, I'm going to say probably what won you the pole was how close you were on used reds to how fast you were on the new reds. You were only a 10th difference, Pato, I think, on your used reds between what you were on the new reds. Was that something you guys concentrated on, or was that just, did you do something different?
I mean, we were exploring. It's a very tough surface on the tire, very sensitive to temperature. So you have to get it in the window. You can't get too greedy with it. But I mean, I would say it's not the first time that we, going out on that set of tires that I had done one flyer, and then that was basically the one that I went on in Q3. So wasn't very different to what I did maybe in Q1, just having 2 laps on the reds. They've held up a lot better than I thought, really.
Yeah, I think the alternate tires are going to be better than I think we expected going into the weekend. But I always find when you go into the Firestone Fast 6, you expect a slight drop off on the alternate, but I always feel like you're able to either match or potentially even go a little faster, and I think we saw that today. So I think that's a sign for tomorrow too.
Just confirming that this is the first front row sweep for Arrow McLaren since joining the series ahead of the 2020 season. Previous best was a first and third place start at Texas in 2023. Bob Hockras, Fox Sports, go ahead.
Bob Hockras, Fox Sports. For both of you, how much tire wear are you seeing on the alternates, and do you think, will the alternates be the primaries tomorrow by any chance?
No one's run them long enough. Like that, there's no data on continuous laps. There's just kind of one flyer here, one flyer there. But I think warm up might be able to tell us a little bit more. But it's also going to be like 40 degrees cooler. So I think we're just in for a show in the race.
I think ultimately I agree with what Pato was saying. I think personally, I don't think it's going to be as big of a drop-off as we expected going into the race weekend, leaving St. Petersburg. But again, we don't have much data on it, so it's going to be interesting, but I think it's all options are open for tomorrow.
And for Pato, they look at several, seeing if people were impeding others. race. They looked at Alex and whether he impeded you. They said no issue. Alex said that he was going as fast as he could on the tires that he had. Is tomorrow going to be any different as far as just with drivers are on different tires, just how much you're catching them and how you're going to get past them?
I don't know why I feel like it's gonna be like an old Iowa. I know Iowa's a short oval and this is a road course, but I think tomorrow is gonna be very reminiscent of what old Iowa was. Just a lot of the different strategies. You're probably not gonna know where you are. You might know what place you're in at the moment, but you don't know what. There's gonna be like multiple different strategies going. Like, I think we're in for a treat tomorrow. Yeah. And it's gonna dig. You can expect that.
Let's go ahead in the third row, and then, I'm sorry, Nathan, you got the microphone. Go ahead. Sorry, missed that. Go ahead.
Question for both of you guys. Pato, to start. Pato, I know over your, this is your 6th year at Arrow McLaren, there have been times where your teammates have been able to push you either in qualifying or races, but I know this is the big topic of conversation with signing Christian is the hope that he can really push you and challenge you and you guys can advance to the top of the grid together. In these 2 race weekends, what have you experienced with him as your teammate and how do you feel like you guys are helping elevate each other?
I think it's been great. You know, whether he believes me or not, I strive to be better, and I really hope that everybody in the team also is in that same attitude, because yeah, okay, it's fine to be, you know, the lead car or whatever, but it's always good to have that benchmark. And whenever maybe you're not the best, you can always kind of look over and be like, hey, you know, the car can do this, so let's go out and explore. And I'm happy to have, you know, strong teammates, and I'm happy to have, you know, people that are very fast, and that's just gonna make me better. It's gonna make the whole team better, and we need we need team cars to be at the front. We can't just have one that's fighting up there. You know, all 3 Penske's are always fighting at the front. You know, all 4 Ganassis are always, you know, at the front. I know there's only, you know, right now 2 Ganassis that are usually at the front, but the Shanks count. So it's what we need in IndyCar. Like every weekend is somewhat stronger, and you know, some guys can be a surprise. I think we've been a surprise this weekend. So I think we're in good shape and we're pushing forward. We want to beat, you know, the big guys. We're still the underdogs.
And Christian, I know when you talked a little bit last summer about this move from RLL to Arrow McLaren, part of your thought process you mentioned was just the ability to more consistently be fighting at the front. These first 2 race weekends that you've had, you've led the team in qualifying in the race at St. Pete and starting on the front row. What are you enjoying about these first couple weekends with this new team?
Well, I'm 2 for 2 in the Fast 6, so that helps. But no, I think ultimately the work leading into a weekend, I think, is a similar but more detailed process. And I feel like I show up at a race weekend more prepared. I show up with a lot more hope, in a sense. I think, as Pato mentioned, it drives me more as well, knowing that we'll be hopefully 2 cars fighting and we can push each other. And previously, I think that's only been on occasions where I feel like that's going to be more consistent now. And I think we're just both going to be better at the end of the season. We're going to evolve each other and develop each other.
Jared Haas with Frontstretch.com. Come back soon for more great racing videos. And if you like us, make sure to hit that subscribe button.